Hey, it's Cecily, and welcome to another episode of By Fibroids with Cecily.
Salt of the earth.
And today we're going to do something a little different. That's right. Today we're going into your hottest, most common questions. We're doing Q&A as well as some other things, but I think it's very necessary to go over some of your most common questions that I get probably every other day. I want to go ahead and devote some time to answering them in this format. Because we probably are all having some of the same questions. So that's what we're going to do. And by the way, you can always message me and let me know some of your hottest questions about natural fibroid elimination. I definitely have my own system, the Operation Fibroid Freedom System, that my clients know about when they sign up for coaching with me. And if you're still spinning your wheels, still not fully sure if you're covering all your bases, baby, you need to get into my private coaching. What you waiting on? It's time to sign up. All right, group fibroid coaching is a more condensed, faster experience than my private one-on-one fibroid coaching program. It's also a little more cost effective, but both of them, okay, let's just get one thing clear. Both options are still cheaper than surgery and also help you save way more money, a ton of money that you would be spending on medical bills by not getting to the root cause and not really unlocking what natural fibroid freedom looks like for you. But we'll talk more about that later. If you are interested in getting started with group training, we're kicking it off the third week of April. The number one question that I get is, can I really shrink fibroids? Like, it's understandable, because if you've not been in my shoes, if you're not well acquainted with the holistic lifestyle, it may be a little bit daunting to immediately switch into the type of thinking that you have to be on, the frequency and the wavelength of thinking, of understanding that you should be on in order to manifest natural fibroid elimination. And that is another reason why it's very important to be in a coaching and ongoing coaching environment, i.e., my 90-day one-on-one private coaching is probably the most beneficial for women who are in need of full immersion into a holistic lifestyle, holistic living, and a holistic mindset. In my opinion, yes, you can shrink fibroids, but it doesn't matter what I think, right? It matters what you think, because everything concerning you is being manifested from the inside of you, from what you believe is available to you. The power that you are consciously and subconsciously wielding at any time is coming out of you. If there's a disconnect and you don't feel like you're in your power, all of that is still coming from the inside of you. So the answer to the question is it really possible for you to shrink fibroids? It's as possible as you're willing to believe. Natural fibroid elimination, success, life mastery, success in anything in life starts and ends in your mind. So your first thing is to check your mindset and make sure that your mindset is calibrated to high vibrational thinking, so that you're connected to the energy of abundance. You know that you're connected to the creator, to the divine source. You know there's an unlimited supply. That automatically begins to position you to receive the outcome that you are working on in your physical waking life, right? And again, I'm going into this because it's a very common question, but every woman is not struggling with believing that they can shrink fibroids. So this may not be anything new or ingenious to some of you, and that's fine, but just bear with me while we go through this, because there are some women who literally just discovered that women are shrinking fibroids naturally, and they're also having to contend with doctors, family members, husbands, the voices in their heads, their other aspects of themselves that do not believe that natural fibroid elimination is possible. And all of those other outside and inside opinions are literally just that, opinions. At the end of the day, it depends on whose report you're going to believe and who you're really going to listen to, right? All that really matters is that you are getting behind what it is that you want to see manifest in your life. You don't really need validation from anyone. And that is kind of where I would like to invite those of you who have not already arrived at that point in your life with anything that concerns you. I'm inviting you to take the reins in your life, take the reins in your womb power, your womb energy, your role as a divine feminine goddess, and know that everything that is applies to you has to respond to you as the goddess, the queen, taking the role, the lead role in her life. Start there. And then work with your intention. Feel what your true inner answer is to whether or not you believe you can shrink fibroids or not. It's okay if there's some shakiness in there and you're not sure. But the most important thing is that you sit with that energy and feel that energy on a regular basis so you can start to recalibrate it by renewing your mind by getting more stimuli to prove the point that the outcome that you desire, which is natural fibroid elimination, is a very true and real phenomenon. Not only true and real, but available to you. Okay, so for me, it was pretty easy because I grew up spiritually active as a younger person. In my younger years, my parents took me to church a lot. I was raised Baptist, so I had a early connection and acquaintance with manifesting and prayer and spirituality and seeing things come to fruition that I had been wishing and praying about, but if you have not done that, I'm not trying to control or tell you who or what to believe in. I'm saying whatever you need to connect with that resonates with you spiritually, that helps to raise your vibration and connect you to the wavelength and frequency where miraculous healing occurs, where reversal of sickness and disease occurs, where natural fibroid elimination occurs. Get more of that into your life. Because yes, the reality is whatever you want is available to you as long as you know it and you believe it. You take the action, you continue to renew and strengthen your mindset, you add in your self-care work with the physical action, with the diet, with the herbal protocol, signing up for fibroid coaching, and it's literally inevitable. But the mindset is everything. Because the other side of that would be somebody who doesn't really believe, they're just going through the motions, and they still may reach natural fibroid freedom. I'm not going to say one way or the other if they won't be successful, right? But I know that there are some that literally are doing everything physically that you can be doing to shrink fibroids, and they still see some resistance with fully eliminating them. They get small, but they can't seem to figure out what the last little thing is to make them fully disappear. And usually there's some new resetting that needs to happen in their energy, with their energy work, with their spiritual practices, and maybe some resetting, some revisiting your inner self and resetting energies and what we don't know are permeating limiting thoughts subconsciously. There may be some things in there that need to be adjusted, shifted, searched out, and removed and replaced. So that's a longer answer to that question. Bottom line, it all starts and ends with you. What do you believe is available? Another question that I get, once women realize that I got rid of fibroids naturally and that I have, for example, I make teas and herbs and I coach women, they want to know, okay, how long is it going to take me to shrink fibroids? When I order your tea, how long will it take me to shrink fibroids? When I sign up for coaching, how long is it going to take for me to become naturally fibroid free? And that type of questioning is already an indicator that you're looking at this subject from the wrong perspective. It requires us to reframe what you're asking and also do some educating within the question. Okay, so number one, Your length of time to shrink fibroids and become naturally fibroid free is directly related to your ability to commit to the lifestyle changes specific to you that you need to make and to stick to them with consistency. Bearing in mind, everyone is different. You'll hear me say this time and time again, but the things that I needed to change are not necessarily going to be the same things that you needed to change in order to cut off the food supply to uterine fibroids. Okay? The herbs that I need to take, which goes into my next question, are not going to be the same herbs that you need to take in order to bring your body and all of your systems into balance in order to cut off the food supply to fibroids. The type and number of fibroids are not the same from woman to woman. Our blood types are not the same. Our lifestyles, the foods that are available to us are all very different. Balance is going to look very different from one woman for what she needs to do to the next. Our definition of balance, our equation or recipe for balance is not the same. Number one, you can buy tea, you can take herbs, and if you're still eating cheeseburgers, tacos, fast food, if you're still drinking and smoking, if we are still entertaining toxic relationships, if we are still moving throughout our life with trauma and baggage that we know has led to our hormones being haywire, even though we're taking herbs, even though we're drinking tea, we're still not fully supporting our body to be doing the best job at detoxifying and cleansing and being balanced, because we're still distracting the body with all of this junk food and negative low vibrational stimuli. So if a woman that's still doing those things and a woman that has eliminated all of those things specific to her and is taking herbs and tea or starting an herbal protocol at the same time, obviously the woman who has eliminated all of the bad habits, lower vibrational behavior, toxic relationships, and etc., is probably going to see natural fibroid elimination manifest way faster. Okay, so the how long will it take cannot be answered, because you are in control of how much of those changes you are willing to make and adhere to in order to give your body the best opportunity to be fully cleansed and fully nourished and fully detoxifying, always ongoing, right? So how long will it take is not really the right way to look at your natural fibroid elimination journey. Number one, we should be looking at shrinking fibroids and what we're going to be doing to do that as our new lifestyle. It's ongoing, and this is how we are changing, where we are adopting a new way of living. We should be embracing this new way of living as something of permanence. How many of these things can we adopt and can we stick to is a better way to position our energy and our focus. Once we do that and shift from being hyper-focused on when is it going to happen, when am I going to be fibroid free, you free your subconscious, the spiritual parts of yourself up, and then you start to operate in one of the more powerful or more subtle feminine powers, and that is that art of detachment. And you're setting yourself up to be in the prime role to receive the outcome that you desire, because you're not watching it every 5 seconds, and you're also not frantically operating or giving into anxiety energies. It's better and more connection to abundance to look at how many of these wonderful changes we can adopt for our new fibroid-proof lifestyle, as opposed to hyper-focusing on how long it's going to take to get rid of them, because that's not really going to serve you, and it actually may detract. We should be looking at a minimum of at least 3 months of sticking to your natural fibroid freedom action plan, your lifestyle changes, before you even begin to look for physical changes in your body and your womb, before we even begin to look for reduction in the size of fibroid tumors. We should have a minimum of 3 months where we have consistently stuck to our fibroid freedom action plan and those lifestyle changes that we're supposed to be committed to. And that's at minimum. I would say really 6 months of following a full natural fibroid elimination plan is best. before you look for any major changes, shifts in fibroid size, alleviation of some of the symptoms. There are some symptoms where we can get immediate relief from. Um, but again, if you are still not fully able to depend on yourself to eat the right foods, they may resurface, right? It's all about you sticking to these lifestyle changes so that the herbs can do their best to be set up to work the best in your body. Your body can do its best to assimilate all of the nutrients that these herbs are bringing to the table. If anybody follows me on Instagram, you'll know that I have spoken to women who have fasted and got rid of fibroids in less than 2 weeks, multiple fibroids. So if you're interested in that, go to my Instagram and just go back through my IGTV stories, not stories, go back through my IGTV feed and look for the interview on fasting. It's been up there. It's been up there for over a year. Water fasting is what I know for a fact has helped women eliminate fibroids in very fast time. And I feel like she had in the teens, like that many fibroids, and she was fibroid free after about 8 days. I think it was 8 days. Don't quote me. But she water fasted. So literally, if you want to get rid of them fast, then start fasting. Fasting was not something that I personally did when I had fibroids, and that's probably why it took me as long as it did. I had some times where I fell off the wagon with what I was supposed to be eating and my lifestyle changes that I was making, and then of course they got bigger, and of course I got more annoyed because I had seen all this success, and then I kind of let it all kind of unravel, so then I had to get back on it again. But I did get back on my game again and followed my plan, and it ended up that I became naturally fibroid free. So there's many ways to the same result, is my point for saying that. But there are faster track modalities that you can use. They are a little bit more difficult depending on who you are. Some women are really good at fasting, by the way. I've spoken to some of my friends who they didn't have fibroids, but they do some miraculous things with fasting. So look into fasting. Look into how you can adopt fasting into your life. Maybe you can't do fasting on water just for 7 to 10 days, but maybe you can do 1 day a week, or maybe you can start with some juice fast days during your week, and maybe build up to doing a water fast for a few days. It's up to you how you want to do it. Maybe you want an intermittent fast. So I kind of gave you a hint on the next question that I get all the time. And you probably have already been thinking this question, so I'm going to just put it out there, and that is, what herb can I take to shrink fibroids? Very common question, very popular, and the answer is herbs are not one size fits all. There's no one herb that's just going to shrink fibroids, or one food item. It's all about the herbs based on what's out of balance in your body. As an herbalist, as a trained herbalist, it's literally about approaching your body as a whole and addressing any and every issue that you may be having, using all of those issues collectively as clues to decode the message that your body has been communicating. Fibroids are only one part of the message. We know if there's something going on with fibroids, there's something going on with the hormones, but everybody's level of imbalance with the hormones is not going to be the same. Also, what are your goals for your health? Some women are pregnant. They can't take every herb. Some women have other issues like hypertension or diabetes. Some of us have problems with digestion, and some have a conglomerate of all of those things. But the point being is, herbs are and should be different based on the woman. Some people like to throw out an herb and say, oh, well, I took this and it helped me get rid of, fibroids. And herbs don't really work that way. Herbs are very fascinating, actually. Member of the plant kingdom. They're alive. And they all have their own properties, but then they also offer more properties when we combine them. And then as an herbalist, another fascinating thing about herbs is that when we're working with herbs individually, who we are as the person working with the herbs. The energy that we bring to the table also goes into the formula that we develop when we're combining herbs. It's a very spiritual as well as scientific process. And really, is there really even a delineation between those subjects? Because really we have separated these things, but the creator just created everything, right? We've created and categorized all of these things. But I say all that to say that it's a much deeper, more nuanced, and very intricate process. Intuition plays a big role as well. So as somebody who is an herbalist that has been trained and worked with herbs just intuitively way before, as well as it's in my ancestry. Herbs are way deeper than to say, oh, hey, take this for fibroids. She does this, everybody takes the same thing. That is no way near how the herb kingdom works. And it's way more juicy and fun and beautiful than that. So as far as the herb that you can take to shrink fibroids, sis, book a consultation so that I can learn more about you and intuit more about you, and we can energetically commune, and then I can get what I need so that I can be energetically equipped and intuitively equipped to blend the best blend that I have been inspired to blend on your behalf based on your body, your beautiful body as a whole. Okay? I hope that answers the question. How to know, whoops, I didn't mean to kick you. How to know if the natural fibroid lifestyle is right for you. I think personally, the natural fibroid lifestyle is right for everyone. But you, again, have to be encouraged and be motivated to take the lead role. The role of the chief of your life, your womb space. You kind of have to put on your warrior gear, because you've got to be flexible to deal with anything that may develop organically, which is what natural and holistic living is all about. Because the opposite of that is what, right? Not fully being entitled about your body, about your temple, and about everything concerning you. Anything naturally, holistically with your health, you have to take the initiative and put on the role of empowerment so that you can get the most attuned answer from your intuition and combine that with your changes that you're making in your waking life, your active plan that you're using for how you're eating, for herbs. We fuse that with this mindset that we know what's best for us. Now, that does not mean you can never go to the doctor. You can go to the doctor and still have your regular traditional medical appointments. That's definitely not what I'm saying to do. If that sounds like something that's doable for you and it doesn't trigger you or cause any sort of a negative response, I don't know why that would, but again, everything's not for everyone, then maybe natural fibroid elimination and this type of a lifestyle is right for you. If you're willing to get your hands dirty and cook and use your hands a lot, you're able to make your own food, because the best way to know that your food is actually whole food plant-based is to make it with your own two hands. If you know that you'll easily be able to eliminate things that you know are not good for you and adopt healthier substitutions for your lifestyle without dropping the ball on yourself, falling off the wagon, this is the right lifestyle for you. You can go to my YouTube right now and see all the types of foods that I cook. You can grab my cookbook, shameless plug, and it'll show you all the foods that I made to shrink fibroids and that I still eat to maintain natural fibroid elimination. The information's out there. The bottom line is, what are you going to do with it? You know, if your answer to that question is proactive and you feel victorious, like, yes, I'm going to take that information and I already know that I'm going to do what it takes to do. The natural fibroid elimination is right for you. So it's more about who you are as a person and your success habits. You know, are you able to be committed to these lifestyle changes and be consistent? If you can answer yes to those questions, then I would say, let's go, sis. Let's do this. You know, put your plan together. Reach out to me, join my private coaching program. Let me help you put your plan together. But yeah, natural fibroid elimination is for everyone who is ready and willing to put in the work. And also, if and when time comes where organically something happens with your body or a symptom seems like it gets worse, are you automatically going to feel defeated and give up and throw in the towel and have a fit? Or and then will that be it? Will you immediately say this doesn't work? All these are really valid questions because these are things that happen on the road to natural elimination of sickness and disease. There's a phenomenon called Herxheimer's reaction where a healing crisis develops, meaning just before full wellness and restoration and elimination of ailments disappear, sometimes, a lot of times, it will look like the sickness or whatever it is we're trying to reverse gets really bad, gets worse. The darkest before dawn thing is what's happening. Will you be able to make it through situations that look like that? Will you be able to get back up and get back on the horse? Or will that be the straw that breaks the camel's back and you're going to feel defeated and that will be it? You know, and these are really valid questions because different personality types are going to be having really different responses to that scenario, and that's okay. Everybody's different. You know, some people can't handle certain things. It all depends on where you are in your life and what you're able to handle and move on from. If you can answer yes to these questions and still feel motivated and legitimately, truly for yourself, not for me, stick to a plan. And also, if you know all of the areas that you need to cover to shrink fibroids naturally, then this is the right lifestyle for you. Okay? Now, for those of you that don't know all the areas, it's time to sign up for coaching. 90-day one-on-one private coaching with me. It's time to sign up for group fibroid coaching, which is a great deal. It's a very limited time though. Your time to sign up for that is now up until the third week of April. I will be having open enrollment up until then, but it's a great opportunity to unlock the whole system of natural fibroid elimination and also get coaching to personalize the system to your life from me, up close and personal, in the group fibroid coaching experience. I have payment plans on both packages. Private coaching, I have a payment plan on that. And I do offer payment plans on group fibroid coaching as well. But it's a really good deal, and you don't want to miss this opportunity if natural fibroid elimination coaching with Operation Fibroid Freedom is right for you. Head over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. I am replaying episodes of By Fibroids with Cecili on my YouTube channel. The channel is called Operation Fibroid Freedom, and I will see you next time.
And you're my kind of people. La 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 la.